Hey, this is RogueCast, episode 24.
With no special introduction.
My name's TR Love.
And I'm Adam Carroll.
And where the hell is Tommy?
I think he's AWOL.
Tommy is AWOL. He's been AWOL for a whole month. Well, we all been AWOL for a month.
Well, yeah, I mean, I haven't talked to Tommy since our last recording, which would have been the last time you guys recorded. So that was a good month and a half or so.
And here's the intro.
Intro.
This program of music to bring you a bulletin just received in the WOR newsroom.
All the humanity and all the plans are feeding
By May, at this early hour in the morning, recapitulate
Is really new. It examines things that so as time
From
goes by-
sci-fi to music, computers to entertainment, nothing is off limits. Coming to you live from the Danger Room, voted best new two-person podcast east of Atlanta. This is RogueCast. And now, here is your host, TR Love.
All right, we're back. Adam, it's good to see you. How's your summer been?
Fantastic. It's been, working a lot and trying to go see movies when I can.
Yeah.
And beyond that, just doing the best to stay alive. That's the way they say.
Nope. It's been a hot summer.
Yeah, it's definitely been a hot summer.
Yeah, I can't believe how hot it's been. All right, let's see. We're going to in this episode we're going to review the movies that we reviewed at the beginning of the summer, and we're going to laugh at how many wrong or incorrect choices we have made.
So if you have the old one, you might want to run these simultaneously so
Yeah.
you can see what we said and what we didn't say.
Okay.
All right. Well, I believe you said the best movie or the movie that's going to make the most money was Pirates of the
Would be
Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean, which so far I was correct.
And I don't think that there anything is going to stop it. I don't see any movie really breaking it out.
I will tell you what I was kind of disappointed about in Pirates of the Caribbean. The movie was, how do I say this? At times it was very vaudevillian, vaudeville, where the stunts, where the fight scenes
Over the top.
were over the top, and not only that, they just kept going and going and going and going. And I thought, wow, this is just.
And-
how much longer are they going to go with this fight scene?
Yeah, and I felt like, I don't know, I felt like it was a good movie, and I liked it better than the first one for different reasons. And I liked the first one. I thought had a good pace, and I thought it was a good movie, and it was a movie that critics killed. I mean, I think
Yes.
it maybe got like 10 out of 100 good reviews, and it for some reason people just didn't care and went to the movie, and it, you took down my pick. Your pick was Pirates of the Caribbean. I picked Superman Returns. Best movie of the summer.
I still like Superman Returns. I still think that was the movie of the summer.
It's fantastic. I mean, if you think about all the good reviews that it's got, I think it maybe got a few because it's kind of slow and it's more of a love story than the normal Supermans. But out of all the movies of the summer that I have seen, and I've seen most of them, it was the best.
I liked the dramatic pauses in the movie.
Did you?
I thought that. I know that he went over the top on some of the dramatic pauses, but when he's sitting above the world, just with his eyes closed, and you can hear him hearing the world, that is a great moment that he can just actually just sit there and relax, and then all of a sudden,
Snaps right into action.
It snaps right into action. I'm like, he didn't try to, so many actors or so many directors try to just over the top all the time with action and action and action. Give us a test. Give us a moment to relax and enjoy the moment, and that's what Superman was doing. He knew that he was going to be called,
Yeah.
And so, he was just in a moment of reflection.
Well, and if you've seen any of the movies that the guy that directed it, Bryan Singer, who's one of my favorite directors, has done, he did the 2 X-Men, not the third one, but he did the first 2. And, they have good action scenes in it, but they're a lot about, pausing and learning about things, and it's, and there's been a lot of things said about comparison of Superman to, Jesus and that kind of stuff. And I think that when you take a movie that far, you're making it lose a lot of things, and I think a lot of critics did that, and that hurt it because that was an example of where critics killed that box office.
As I said before, I don't think the most important. I think that Bryan Singer did the greatest thing. He made the superhero an unknown actor and made the villain the better actor.
And it was probably one of the best villains you've ever seen in a superhero movie.
He was the best villain since Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson. I'd even say I like Magneto in the second one.
Right.
But I mean, he's really not even the villain in the second one. But just Magneto as a whole, like Ian McKellen as a bad guy was
Right.
he's
I
a good-
really thought he did a great job by picking out an unknown actor and not to him, and let him just play the part. Because if it wasn't for the actor, if it wasn't for the villain, you would never know how super the hero could be.
Yeah, and he was. I mean, Kevin Spacey just knocked that out of the park. I mean, you really can't.
I got really angry at Kevin Spacey or at Lex Luthor, because the way I remember him, he was evil, but he never went over the top. And this time, he was just pure evil.
Yeah, there wasn't even a good bone in his body.
No.
Yeah, and I thought it was played really well. I mean, if you've ever seen the old Supermans, I mean, Gene Hackman's a good actor, and I'm not taking anything away from him, but he was so over the top.
Right.
And he was goofy and evil, and I don't know. It just doesn't.
The movie's just great.
Yeah, the new and speaking of movies that got really poor reviews, what about the Da Vinci Code?
Oh, I saw the Da Vinci Code, and I liked it, but I understand why it was released so early.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. The only reason I haven't seen it is I really wanted to see it. My girlfriend went out and saw it with a bunch of friends when I was in town. When I was out of town, going out with a friend who was leaving the area, and none of them liked it. I mean, it got bad reviews, and I usually don't, I tend not to listen to reviews. I still go see the movie, but I just never got around to it. Right after that, they just started releasing every week a new movie came out. I mean, I've been to the movies 12 or 13 times this summer, so.
You know what movie we didn't have on our list, and we have a little poster here full of all of them. What's the Tom Cruise movie?
Oh, Mission Impossible 3?
I will tell you this, that I think the studios balked at this one. I think they actually had a better movie than they actually thought they could have. That they did,
Yeah.
and they released it too early.
And
that movie could have held up in a June or July.
Yeah, I mean, it might have affected Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't remember who releases the two.
Right.
If they were released by the same company, maybe the company knew that Pirates of the Caribbean was going to kick everyone else out of the water. Because I mean, think about all the movies that were released between July 7th when Pirates of the Caribbean was released. Big movies.
Right.
We're talking about big movies.
But easily that the Tom Cruise movie could have been a June.
Oh yeah.
Or easily could have been a June. They didn't have to release it in May, which was a real early release.
And it was released even before the Da Vinci Code, right?
It was 2 weeks before that.
And I mean, it was like Da Vinci Code. I mean, the way the summer went was Da Vinci Code, and then it went to Mission Impossible 3, Da Vinci Code, X-Men, Superman, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes.
And of all the movies, the only two that really stood up in their months was X-Men 3 and Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, I wanted to tell everybody that I went to go see the X-Men twice.
Ugh.
I know you're all going to say, because I missed the Easter egg at the end of the movie, and I had gone online and everyone said, oh, you have to see the Easter egg. The Easter egg is there. The Easter egg was 4 seconds or 7 seconds? Of
6 or 7 seconds, yes.
Of movie, and the time it took to type the Easter egg up online was longer than the movie. It was longer than the Easter egg.
And the fact that you paid to see that movie twice, that wasn't one of my favorites. I'm a comic book fan, so I was a little bit disappointed in how that movie.
But the funny thing was that who's the guy who plays the guy with the light bulb coming out of his eyes?
You're talking about Cyclops.
The Cyclops.
James Marsden.
Yes, he went to Superman with the same director from.
There you go.
I think he made the wise decision of the summer.
And I really think that
I know
I really think that Bryan Singer made a wise decision too. I mean, he could have made X-Men 3 really good, and he understood that. But I think that he really wanted to go in a different direction. And I thought of the two, it might even be better than X-Men franchise. I mean, Superman Returns was a little bit long, but it was so good. And I failed. I know I blew it when I said that it was going to be the best movie of the summer, but. I just think that Pirates was. I don't understand this, especially the summer. They have so many great movies, and it just seemed like all the movies this summer were reruns. We had the Superman Returns. We had Pirates of the Caribbean 2. We had what else did we have? I mean, Mission Impossible 3.
Mission Impossible 3. I mean, the Da Vinci Code, I really won't call it a sequel.
But it's a book, so everybody
had read the book, and everybody, literally the whole planet has read the book. So other than Lady of the Water, Cars,
Nacho
Libre, well, Miami Vice is kind of a...
Yeah, but that's a reach.
Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
Click. Well, not even.
But see,
Click. We all knew what was going to happen. Clerks 2, and Clerks 2 was a
rehash.
Everything's
Everything's rehash except for And we're talking about like brand new ideas. I mean, like Nacho Libre, Lady in the Water, Cars, like Monster House, I guess. I mean, like it seemed like of all the summer, everything rated below PG-13 were the better movies.
Right.
I mean, you think about Cars making so much money, Nacho Libre making $79 million. I mean, even if you didn't like the movie, it's a lot of money for a small movie like that to make. And these are all PG movies.
Did you see Cars yet?
I haven't seen Cars yet.
Cars is the one thing that bothered me about Cars, and I love the movie. I think it missed the adult humor that has been in every other Pixar movie.
It was more kids?
It was more kids. They didn't have. I'm so used to having the adult humor that's subtle in there and it just hits you over the head.
Yeah.
And they slide it in, and it hits the adults, and where the adults laugh harder than the kids.
And they didn't have that.
It didn't seem like that as much.
Yeah, and I haven't seen it. You know, everybody that I know has seen it, and they all liked the fact that it was, you know, a lot of people say it's their favorite movie of the group. And, I mean, it'd have to be incredible. Sorry for the pun, but my favorite movie is The Incredibles. And, I mean...
The Incredibles, and I think now I kind of like the first ones when they first came out.
Toy Story?
Toy Story is great. They have
Monsters, Inc., right?
And Monsters, Inc. But out of those movies, you didn't know... You didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't know what to expect. No, it was sad about the rehashing. It was, you know, but sometimes rehashing's good. I mean, think about Superman. It was a good thing to bring that back into the mainstream because people that, you know, most kids that went and saw it, I went and saw it on a Tuesday at midnight, 10 o'clock actually, and the people there were mostly high school kids who probably haven't seen the originals. So
right,
it was good.
Mm-hmm. The best part of Cars had to be. Well, I mean, it was a little predictable, but was at the end of the movie. And you should go see the movie just so you can go to the end of the movie and see how they make fun of other Pixar movies.
Okay. I'll definitely go listen in and tune in and see how they make fun of other Pixar movies. But I think, at the end of this first segment, we got to talk about how we were both, me, you, and Tommy, I believe, were both pretty dead on the bomb of the summer.
Yeah, well, that will be the next segment.
Oh, well, then we'll talk about the bomb of the summer.
11 minutes right now.
Yeah, it looks like it.
So we'll end this one right here and go to and then we'll talk about the next segment, which will be the biggest
bombs of the summer.
Thanks for listening to another fine episode of RogueCast. For more information on the topics, guests, or hosts from this show, please visit RogueCast.com. The content of all segments of this show is copyrighted by RogueCast.com 2006.